I just want to greet you in Jesus' precious name. It is a beautiful day on the farm. I trust that you are resting, you're sitting down quietly, having a cool drink. It's a hot day on the farm. Or maybe a cup of tea. I always find a hot cup of tea on a very hot day cools me off. Folks, I want to speak to you about hard hearts. Please guard your heart that it does not become hard. When a person comes to you weeping, don't say, I've heard this before. Keep a soft heart. The Lord can't work with a hard heart. If we look at Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 15, today if you will hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion. You know that the Israelites spent 40 years, my dear friend, in the wilderness. 40 degrees plus in that wilderness. They spent 40 years there. But they had hard hearts. And none of them, except Joshua and Caleb, went across the Jordan River and into the land of promise. Not one of them. Why? Because they had hard hearts and they would not listen. And because of their rebellion, the Lord turned his back on them and they perished in the desert. Do not harden your heart. We need to keep soft hearts. We need to watch out. You know, our hearts are the wellspring of life. You need to guard that heart of yours. I'm going to give you a good illustration. On the farm here, sometimes, especially in a drought time, we struggle to find water to feed our cattle. And then on the side of the mountain, we'll see a beautiful little fountain will come out of the ground. It's the most beautiful, magical thing to see. It really is. Just comes trickling out of the ground. The first thing we do is we put a fence around it so that the cattle cannot come and muddy the water because they are desperate to drink. And so what they do is they come and they squelch around it and they cut off the little fountain, the spring. And that spring stops and it comes out somewhere else, could be another 10 miles away. So we put a fence around it and then we nurture it. We open it up slowly and it starts to pick up in strength. Then we normally make a little cement, like a basin, just in front of it, and it starts to pour into the basin. When the basin gets full, we put a pipe at the bottom of the basin, and we take the water away about maybe 20 meters, and then we put a water trough there, and the water just pours into the water trough night and day, and it just keeps filling up, and all our cattle, we're talking about up to maybe 200-300 at a time, can drink from that one little fountain. Do not harden your heart. You see, when you harden your heart, it's like you are muddying the water. Then you can't think straight and you start thinking negative. And you see somebody that doesn't greet you and you think that they don't like you, but they couldn't see you because the sun was in their eyes. That's how it is. We need to think the best of people. We need to pray for people. We need to love people. We need to trust the Lord in every situation that we're in. We need to get that fountain of life just coming out, gushing with more and more water, getting stronger all the time until such time as everything is irrigated. It starts with one little fountain, but you can destroy that fountain in a moment by allowing negative words, by listening to negative programs, by listening to negative people. You muddy the water and it just cuts off. Don't do that. Spend time in the heart spring of your life and God will do the rest. Until next time, Jesus bless you and goodbye.